in the bridge itself. They consulted NASA on it. It doesn't wobble anymore. However, because it doesn't have any give in the structure, it's not going to last as long as the original design would. When confronted by the press about this, Lord Norman Foster stated that it wasn't his design that was at fault, it wasn't the construction that was at fault, but more because Londoners don't know how to walk. And this is actually quite true. Londoners, if you've seen them at peak time on the tube system, will march to their destinations. They do not know how to say a leisurely stroll. Were they to stroll across that bridge, they would have absolutely no problems. However, because of the way they march, hence the motion sickness. The FT building to the right, this is the Financial Times building. This was actually the original location of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. There is a monument to it within there. And you may have seen as we went past, there is a detailed reconstruction. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But the Anchor Pub, just to the right, used to be the old Bankside Tavern. Many famous people drank there. Charles Dickens, Samuel Pepys, the famous diarist, Tom Cruise at the end of Mission Impossible 1. They have award-winning fish and chips in there. If you're looking to get served quickly in there though, it's not going to happen. But to make up for the lack of speed, they do make up for it in portion size, and the fish and chips in there are quite spectacular. I would recommend it. We're actually in the district of Southwark, which is on the right hand side of the boat, on the south bank, which was once known as the den of debauchery, bear baiting, bare knuckle fighting, you know, my idea of a good Friday night out. The ladies of the night would therefore, you know, walk around and sell their services. But not on the north bank. On the north bank, they were pretty, well, rich. It's the basic word to look at it. And they would not, you know, associate themselves with such things. So therefore, if you wanted the time of your life to go and see these actors performing their work, we need to cross the Thames to the south bank, especially to the district of Southwark. For all our Americans on board, to the right we have Southwark Cathedral, which was where John Harvard of Harvard University was baptized. There's actually a chapel in there dedicated to him. And like before, I do think it is time for a bit of audience participation. Ladies and gentlemen, after the count of 3, I would like you all to point at London Bridge. 1, 2, 3, point! Yeah, about half and half. To those of you pointing ahead of you, that big tower bridge in front of you, you're wrong. That's aptly named Tower Bridge. The big slab of concrete behind us is a very uninteresting London Bridge. You did know it, so did I. It is an absolute eyesore, but it's necessity of London, and I will talk about that a little bit later on. But I just want to draw your attention to the 11,500 ton warship to the right with its Union Jack flying. A Union, called the Union Jack because it is on water. If it's not on water, it's a Union flag. But this is the HMS Belfast. This is an actual warship that has seen action. It has guns on there that can shoot up to 14 miles. Currently, they're pointed towards Birmingham. I mean, it's basically to prevent the people from Birmingham invading. True, my colleague got through, but you know, he's one of the lucky ones. But if you're a parent or you're a teacher and you want to get rid of some kids for the night, go to the pub, etc. You can actually leave them on the HMS Belfast, and they have a thing called Keep on a Ship. So they can experience what it's like to live in a naval vessel. So this battle cruiser saw action in the Russian convoys. It was in the Korean War. It was the first to fire its guns at D-Day, and it was tasked to hunt down Hitler's favourite vessel, the Scharnhorst. Didn't sink the Scharnhorst, but definitely did it some damage. The Imperial War Museum rescued it from scrappage back in the 1960s, bought it for £1 and turned it into a living museum. Definitely worth going to a visit on there if you get the chance while you're in London. But you may have seen, as we went past the ship to our right, we have Darth Vader's helmet. No, not really. It's City Hall, offices to our Mayor, Sadiq Khan, the third Mayor of London, and the Greater London Assembly. They make all the big infrastructure decisions in there. You may notice it, well, you may recognise it rather from the final of The Apprentice. And just incidentally, on the name City Hall, a company was paid £1 million to come up with a name for the building, and they came up with City Hall. I really think they should have given the money back with that. But there we are. Now to the most photographed bridge in the world. Sorry, San Francisco, ours is better. You have the beautiful Tower Bridge. Built back at the end of the 19th century. It was originally painted in Queen Victoria's favourite colour, a chocolatey brown. The stonework on it is actually just a facade, and were you to remove that, it would make no difference to the bridge at all, as the bridge is made primarily of iron and steel. It's a vascular bridge. It opens in the centre to allow the taller ships to come through. For example, when the HMS Belfast was brought through, they would have obviously had to raise those to get the HMS Belfast to where she currently lies. But we're now coming to into the old port of London. Butler's Wharf to the right. Now luxury apartments. Used to be London's larder, where used to all the food would be brought here and stored and then shipped off to wherever it was going. There used to be about 9,000 boats here. It used to be said that you could get from South Bank to North Bank, ship to barge to barge to boat to boat to barge to ship.